Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Fright Friday right here on Night Owl Video. Today we are talking about Evil Dead Rise from 2023. So I hope you'll stick around. We'll talk a bit about production, cast, critical reception, my thoughts on the film, this edition, and a whole bunch more. Thank you to everybody who has recently subscribed. I'm now as of the recording of this video at 279 subscribers. So close to 300, which will be really cool. So thank you to everybody who's joined my channel. I know there's lots of people making videos about movies and horror stuff, and so I really appreciate that you chose to join my channel. Although I'm not exclusively horror, but a lot of it is. But anyway, thank you for subscribing and liking and commenting and all that stuff. Really appreciate it. So yeah, today we're talking about Evil Dead Rise from 2023. This just came out in theaters a couple months ago, and it just came out to Blu-ray about 2 weeks ago. This was directed by Cronin, and the only other directorial feature that he did was a movie called The Hole in the Ground. Now, I did look this up before I was doing my notes for my review of this film, and I actually went and sought out the movie Hole in the Ground. Watched it, was really, really impressed. I thought this was really good. If you like that movie, The Ritual, if you like The Witch, if you like evil children kind of movies, switched body kind of horror, supernatural horror thrillers, this is going to be right up your alley. It's really well done. It's got really great atmosphere, much like this one, although very different movies. But I would highly recommend, if you can find that movie, The Hole in the Ground. I found it on my smart TV. I don't remember what streaming platform it was on, but I think I found it pretty... Actually, I think it might have been Tubi, now that I think about it. So you should be able to watch that for free. It was really good. I highly recommend it. So Evil Dead Rise, like I said, this just came out a couple months ago. It stars Lily Sullivan, who was also in the film Jungle, as well as Monolith. And it stars Alyssa Sutherland, who was in the TV show Vikings, as well as the miniseries The Mist. So, and then there's three child actors in this film. Morgan Davies, Gabrielle Eccles, and Nell Fisher. I did not look up what other things they were in. I think I did look at one of them and I didn't recognize anything, so I just focused my energy on the two main actresses in the film. So the synopsis for this film is: a reunion between two estranged sisters gets cut short by the rise of flesh-possessing demons, thrusting them into a primal battle for survival as they face the most nightmarish version of family imaginable. A vague description, but anybody who's seen The Evil Dead, and I've been a fan of The Evil Dead since I was a teenager, really excited to see this one. Now, some of you may have seen I did a kind of a first impressions of this movie after I saw it in the theater. If you go back on my channel, I did kind of a first impressions, and then I was also talking about Evil Dead 2013, and I think I showed off some of my Evil Dead collectibles, which are up here behind me. There's the Books of the Dead. But yeah, I saw this in the movie theater. Unfortunately for me, there was somebody in the theater. There was not many in the theater when I saw this, but there was one person who laughed through the whole damn thing, even at parts that weren't funny. And it really took me out of the movie. I could not let myself get absorbed into this film when I was watching it in the theater, which really sucked because it was my son's birthday. I told him we were going to go. I was so excited to see this. My son and I both love the Evil Dead movies, and so really excited to see this in the cinema, and then that experience was such a bummer. I even contemplated going back to see it a second time just to see, because the problem was when I left the theater, I thought, I didn't like this movie much at all. So I was really worried going into watching it on Blu-ray. Am I going to like this? Is it just ruined for me? I don't know. Luckily, and I'll get to this in a minute, but luckily my experience watching it at home was much better. And God bless the person who kept laughing. I think they might have had that disorder where they can't stop laughing. It seemed to me maybe as an afterthought that's what was going on, but Yeah, so I did not have a good time watching this on the big screen, and I left the theater thinking I don't think I like this. I liked the 2013 remake of Evil Dead, but I wasn't like a mega fan. I did do a review of that. If you go back on my playlist of Fright Fridays, you will see that. I thought it was okay, but I'm more of a OG Evil Dead fan. I saw this original movie when I was about 13 or 14 at a sleepover, and it scared me so bad. I mean, I don't find it scary now, obviously, but at the time, that was one of the most scary things I had ever seen, aside from maybe like Nightmare on Elm Street. And so it always really had this lasting impression on me. Evil Dead 2, I loved for a different reason, and obviously Army of Darkness for a very different reason, but I loved the original films. So yeah, I just did not have a good experience watching this at the theater, which was really sucky because, like I said, it was really. I was looking forward to this movie ever since I heard it was coming out. So the production notes on this film are: in October of 2019, Sam Raimi, director of the original Evil Deads, announced that a new film was in development with Rob Tappert producing, Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell executive producing, and Lee Cronin writing and directing the project. Principal photography for the film took place in New Zealand from June to October of 2021. Apparently, now I didn't know this, the film was originally set to premiere on the streaming service HBO, but Warner Brothers Pictures opted to release it in the theaters after a really positive series of test screenings. So this almost was an HBO exclusive, which I think would have been a real missed opportunity for the creators of this film. And a bummer for people who don't have HBO, including myself. The budget was between $15 and $19 million, and the box office was $146.5 million. So clearly the Evil Dead franchise still has some staying power, and people are still, even though for me, like 2013, like I said, it was cool and I enjoyed it, but nothing like these original movies. And so I was optimistic, optimistically excited, but I still had this sense of trepidation going into this. But it did. Well, we'll get to my thoughts on it in a minute. But Bruce Campbell is featured as an uncredited voice-only cameo, heard in a recording of one of the phonograph records from 1923. So the premise for this film is that it's a woman and her 3 children living in a high-rise. Her sister comes to stay with them. She learns that she's pregnant. She's a guitar tech roadie for a band. She doesn't know what to do with herself, so she comes to this high rise to stay with her sister for a bit and try to sort things out. There's an earthquake which unearths in the basement of the high rise that was built on top of an old bank. A vault with a bunch of like drawers and paperwork, and the kids end up going into that vault. That's where they find the record, the recording that is the incantation which brings the evil spirits to life, as well as finding the Book of the Dead. And so they take that stuff back up to the apartment. They play the record. It unleashes the Deadites, and that's where we get this kind of full steam ahead horror movie. But so the voices, or one of the voices on that phonograph record, is Bruce Campbell, who played Ash in the original Evil Dead series. Campbell voices an unnamed character who forewarns the priest to the dangers of the demon resurrection ritual. Writer-director Lee Cronin stated that he had Bruce Campbell voice this role intentionally, stating that he considers it to be a time-displaced Ash Williams, which is also kind of a cool tie-in that I did not know was part of this film. Along with his voice cameo on the phonograph record, Bruce Campbell also contributes Foley to the film, with Cronin stating, quote, "There's a scene around an eye where there's some munching, and Bruce created that sound by eating an apple furiously for me," unquote. So Bruce is still in there, still just being a rascal. Cronin stated that the film used over 6,500 liters, that's 1,717 US gallons of fake blood. There was a lot of fake blood. So if fake blood turns your stomach, do not watch this movie. A person named Stephen McKeon composed the score after collaborating with Lee Cronin on Hole in the Ground. In April of 2023, Bruce Campbell stated that he, Sam, and Ivan Raimi were planning a possibility for future films in the franchise, quote, every 2 or 3 years. So my understanding is they don't want to wait 10 years to make another sequel. They're going to kind of crank these out a bit more regularly and timely. So I'm kind of hoping they go with this kind of like almost like an anthology. It's like different directors doing their take on the Evil Dead story. So we'll see what happens there. So currently this film holds an 84% on Rotten Tomatoes. One quote said, quote, offering just about everything longtime fans could hope for while still managing to carry the franchise forward. Evil Dead Rise is all kinds of groovy, unquote. So groovy. So yeah, this was pretty well received, and again, going back to my experience seeing this in the theater, that's why I was kind of confused, because I thought, why are people loving this movie so much? I thought it was so lackluster. Now, my thoughts on this film, I rewatched it on Blu-ray the other night, lights turned down. I don't know what it's like where you're living, but right where I'm living, it is incredibly hot and humid and just horrible. So put the movie on, turn the lights off, put the fan on high, got some snacks, pop this in. Now going in, I was not anticipating enjoying this. I really wasn't. I was like, this is just a washed out version of Evil Dead and I'm not going to like it. Much to my amazement, I got sucked right into this and I loved it. I mean, as soon as it was over, I was like, I want to watch this again, which I might do in the coming days. I don't know. And I've said this on my channel before, it's an interesting experience when you see a movie and you don't like it, and then down the road you rewatch it and you love it. And that was exactly the experience with me with this film. The gore is really on point, really over the top. If you remember in the original Evil Dead, Ash's hand gets like these little spider veins going up his arm. One of the characters gets that on her face in the movie. And I was just like, oh, that's such a cool nod to the original. There's lots of nods to the original, including some quotes and things like that. But yeah, this was, I was surprisingly really into this movie and really excited about it. Again, the opening scene, which is kind of what would you call it? Like a prologue that happens as an epilogue, or it's supposed to take place after this movie, but they put it at the beginning of the movie. Which I didn't really pick up on at watching this movie. I was so confused by the ending. I was like, who is this person? But then I realized, oh, this is that person that is at the beginning of the movie. So that I remember seeing in the theater. That was the one part I actually was kind of excited about, because it has this really creepy, they're at this kind of like A-frame cabin, a cottage kind of thing, and something bad happens, and this woman kind of like floats above this lake, kind of like the old style floating in the original Evil Deads. And then Evil Dead Rise, the letters come up behind her in the sky, and it's like that real terrifying music. Like it made me think of like The Conjuring at the beginning, when it says The Conjuring, it's got that wah, like that real scary music. Like it kind of reminded me of that a little bit, and that just gave me goosebumps, both in the theater and watching it here. In fact, I'm currently cat sitting in a place by myself, and when that came on, I actually got the willies like so bad. I thought, I'm gonna have to turn this off, because I'm all alone in this big house, and it freaked me out a bit, but I did stick with it. Yeah, the gore is over the top. The kids are really great in this movie. Like I said, what's that? The young girl's name, Nell Fisher, who I believe is this kid right here. She's adorable, and she's also really, really, the kids are really convincing in this. I thought they were great. I was, again, a little trepidatious about seeing this, because I thought, is this going to be like a Stranger Things kind of Evil Dead? Like, are they going to, it's going to throw in a bunch of teenagers and make it, hey, look, kids, it's a scary movie with teenagers. And so I was really nervous about what they were going to do with this, but it's not like that at all. This is like the kids in this movie are the family, and that's all. It's, I mean, they're a little like hipsterish, but not like over the top. Just really cool. I was really pleasantly surprised. Oh yeah, there's the scene of the person floating over the water, and then just imagine in the background it says like Evil Dead Rise in the skyline, and it's like really scary music. So yeah, the gore was really good. The lead actress in this film, which I think is Alyssa Sutherland. I get them mixed up, but the person that plays the lady who gets possessed by the Deadites, she's really scary in this movie. Her voice pitches low. It's so creepy. She was really, really good. Really, really convincing. So I can't say anything bad about the acting. All around, the acting was great. The mood, kind of being trapped in that apartment instead of like a log cabin, really worked. Again, another thing I was like, I'm not sure how this is going to transfer to city life, but it actually really works quite well. The elevator breaks, the emergency exit's blocked, so they're really trapped in this apartment, and you get that real claustrophobic feeling. Like, you keep thinking of them, the people that are surviving are moving from room to room, and you keep thinking like, when is she going to come around the corner and like terrorize them some more? And so the tension was really good. The music, I can't say I remember a lot about the music, but I do remember like it had those little ding, 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 like kind of little creepy like cello stabs and things like that really like added to the tension. And the ending is over the top. I mean, gory. Like I said, they used so many gallons of blood, fake blood, I should say. And some of the creatures in here, like the Deadites, really unique, really different compared to the original series. So I can't praise this movie enough. I would give this a good 4.5 out of 5. Again, I'm nostalgic for the original series, so I'm kind of always hold fast to those ones. But this is an excellent addition. A little more fun than the 2013 remake, which I found really dour and really depressing and dark. And I think I commented the last time I watched the 2013 remake, I actually kind of felt sick to my stomach watching it. The gore was so excessive. This one, gory, but I don't think as bad as that 2013 one. This one had a few funny moments in it, which kind of harkens back to the original trilogy. Yeah, I just really, really like this. This edition is the new Blu-ray from Warner Brothers. I hear a lot of people on YouTube complaining about this Warner Brothers 100 years of celebrating every story logo, which they don't like. It doesn't ruin it for me. It's kind of gaudy, but the cover art is great. Here's the back for you. There's the lead actress when she's super possessed. Really, really terrifying in parts, and she screams at one point. It's like really disturbing. So it has the nice slipcover. The inside, same cover art as the outside, and then the disc art is pretty boring. It's just the DVD and Blu-ray with the plain artwork. The back is the same as the slipcase. You know what's really weird about this edition, though? There are absolutely zero special features. I didn't notice that when I bought it, which was really disappointing. I have to be honest, because is this going to get re-released in some 2-disc or steelbook with like all kinds of extra features, and I've just wasted like $30 on this thing? That was my only gripe with this Blu-ray release. No special features? Like none? You can't even put on like a little 5-minute like making of, or like, I don't know. I found that really, really sucky. But anyway, it did look nice on Blu-ray. This movie's rated 18 in Canada, 16. I should say It's rated 16 in Quebec and 18 for the rest of Canada. Trying to see, it has a runtime of 96 minutes, so real nice on that. It has Dolby Atmos. What else can I say about this? Yeah, this is a very bare bones edition, which I was a little surprised, because I hope that's not going to become a trend where they just stop doing like director commentaries, or like even those little 5-minute mini documentaries they do sometimes. But yeah, this has nothing on it. So if you're one of those people that really has to have that stuff on your disc, then you might want to wait and see if they put out like a special edition. But a little disappointed on that. You can watch this movie if you have Crave. It's included in your Crave subscription in Canada. You can also rent it on Prime Video, Apple, and Google Play for $6.99. And it's also in stores. So if you want to go support physical media and let Warner Brothers know that you still want to buy Blu-rays and DVDs, go out to your store and grab a copy. It's still there. It's fresh on the racks. So let me know your thoughts on this film, Evil Dead Rise. Did you like it? Did you not like it? If you liked it, what did you like about it? If you didn't like it, what did you not like about it? Give me a thumbs up if you like this kind of content. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Follow me over on Instagram at Night Owl Video, where I usually post my upcoming videos, but lately I've been kind of lazy. I'm kind of in that summer lull. I just don't really feel like doing a lot. It's super hot. I just want to lay around in front of the fan and watch horror movies. So I don't know about you, but I'll try to do better. I know I say that every video, but yeah, that was my thoughts on Evil Dead Rise from 2023, directed by Lee Cronin. Again, let me know your thoughts. Earlier in the week, I reviewed The Hidden. This film right here. This is a 2-pack with The Hidden and The Hidden 2. But I did a review of The Hidden this past week on Cult Movie Tuesday, so go back and check that out. I also did a little thrifting haul, which is all new, mostly all new stuff. But yeah, go back and check that out. This is actually part of that thrifting haul. So go back and check that out. And then next week I will have more reviews for you, including this movie, Offerings. Yes. I'm also going to be doing a review of Sleepaway Camp for Fright Friday next Friday. So if you like that movie and you want to check my review out, please join in next week for those things. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Sorry this video went a little longer, but I did have a lot to say about this movie. I really do love this movie now. I'm gonna watch this again in the coming days, I think, just because I liked it so much. But anyway, until next time, I will see you at the video store or at the thrift store, or maybe I'll see you at some cabin in the woods, but hopefully we won't recite the Book of the Dead and be possessed by deadites, but we'll see what happens. Until then, stay cool, take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.